Hello! We all know about Muay Thai shin conditioning. It's become a gold standard to condition one's shins in the mixed martial arts arena, whether it be low kicks or kicks up high, mitigating the pain and risks involved with bone-on-bone contact. It's often done so by smashing the dense lower part of the heavy bag with the shin, and the result is microfissures, which add calcium deposits over the bone, making it harder and harder, while also deadening the nerves, making it more tolerable over time. That's standard, but then again, there's Tony Ferguson who likes kicking metal. Why? Who knows why Tony Ferguson does half of what he does, but as a result, he's become a meme, the Chuck Norris of our generation for his unique antics. Watch here how even Sean O'Malley is poking jest. Maybe that'll be the slogan. You only know what you're doing if you don't know what you're doing. And if you don't know, then clearly your opponent won't know. Boom. Reverse elbow. Back to the point though, rarely do you see someone advise kicking actual metal, but watch here. Brett Okamoto posted this on Twitter, a throwback to when he saw Tony Ferguson hitting metal with his elbows for 15 straight minutes. He's applying that same conditioning philosophy to his elbows, but then takes it to another level by hammering himself against straight up metal. I don't know anyone who would actually recommend this, but for sure, he is forming calcium deposits on his elbow. Tony Ferguson does have a knack for cutting his opponents, although the thick elbow bone, when paired with quick, efficient harness of body weight, also taking into consideration his insane physical attributes, an astonishing 76-inch reach and lightweight, the same as Nate Diaz and 2 inches more than Conor McGregor, 1 inch less than Kevin Lee. He just has that similar advantage Jon Jones does when delivering elbows versus much of his competition. He's a lankier, taller fighter, which means he typically gets more reach over power in his shots, which brings me to the next point. Tony Ferguson does generate respectable power, but power is not what makes Tony Ferguson's elbows so dangerous. His elbows scale more along the lines of cut than concussive. This is why, even when he's on the bottom, he can cut his opponents. He hits quick, sharp. I've had a MMA Muay Thai striking coach who taught me how you don't necessarily have to emphasize power with an elbow. If you treat the elbow like an arm punch, emphasizing to hit quick and sharp, it completely changes the dynamic of the strike to cut instead of concuss, because you drag the skin across their face, which causes it to tear. He often follows through each time he touches you. The density of a well-conditioned elbow, it just does the rest. This one here, a thing of beauty, the reverse elbow. He sees Donald Cerrone follow up, thus ducks under, following the momentum of the initial punch. Rotation is natural. From there, he counters Donald's counter with the reverse elbow. We saw the same thing here as a switch hitter who alternates between orthodox and southpaw. Tony Ferguson throws a jab from southpaw, slipping the possible counter, then following that momentum with the spinning elbow. And this here is something we've seen from Jon Jones versus Rashad Evans, trapping the hand, or in this case, the hands, and using that as a measure whilst limiting the opponent's weapons. In that moment of confusion, the opponent moved right into the strike, rocking him. Again here, watch how he goes to trap the arms even while they are in guard. It looked as though he was going to trap or catch the elbow. Unfortunately for him, he just ended up opening himself to the strike, pawing for something that just was not there. Boom. Tony Ferguson has a really weird and awkward style. He's clearly training a lot of different things, but it seems as though he has been predominantly self-taught in his striking. He does a lot of things many coaches and gyms would get a brain aneurysm watching. He even hasn't sparred for 6 years. His novelty and creativity, the inability to prepare for him, is what makes him so dangerous. This is one of the instances where the edge comes in actually breaking the rules, as you aren't given a clear-cut road as to how you're going to deal with him. And on top of that, it's just very difficult to adjust to his weird techniques to take advantage of their holds, because he just has so many of these strange techniques one after another. He's just a puzzle with so many layers. He keeps you confused with different looks to a point where you can't really read what will happen next. He's just flowing from weirdness to weirdness. You know, to be fair, he does get hit with cleaner techniques time to time for sure. Thus, his remarkable chin is definitely a component as to why his creative and unpredictable style is so effective. He's just able to come at you with an arsenal of risky moves, with the backup plan of high-level wrestling and Eddie Bravo Jiu-Jitsu in case it goes to the ground, and of course, a durable chin. All of this just blends so well together. To have this risky, unpredictable style, but to have an answer regardless of where the fight goes. You know, he's truly executing a reaction and transition speed advantage by being in a constant state of flow, regardless of where the fight goes. That said, if Tony Ferguson can become a UFC champion training out of his garage in this time of isolation, none of us have an excuse. Thank you, Tony Ferguson, for this lesson. If you like more from me, please subscribe and hit the notifications. Thank you if you did. It truly does mean a lot to me. Thank you. Smash like button if you enjoyed. It's good karma, and until next time, peace.